Just like the continents are far apart, that is the gap. So the money they give you is something to make your life comfortable. So when I had a PhD offer, I was like, boom, why not just go for that?
Hello friends, this is Jims of the Jims TV. Thank you for stopping by and you're welcome. So in today's video, I have one of the Ghanaians I've met so far, right? I think I mentioned it some time ago that the church I attend is predominantly African. Yeah, we have some African Americans as well. We have some Americans as well. And I'm happy and grateful that I get to meet people. And one of such persons is here with me to, gist with me, talk with me, and share her experiences as, an African living here in the United States. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and share. Let's get right into the video. All right, friends, and welcome back. And with me is
Magdalene.
Magdalene, what?
Magdalene Chigbadi.
Anyway, yeah. What region are you from?
The Volta region.
Volta region. Is it only Volta regions anyway?
Majority, yeah. Mainly,
okay.
But we have Guans who are a bit Volta, yeah, but
okay.
Majority, yeah.
Okay. So for those who do not know, she's Ghanaian. That's the long and short of it. Yeah, you can tell them again.
Yes, I'm Ghanaian.
So it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. How long have you been here for in the US?
I've been here for approximately 2.5 years.
Wow. How's it been so far?
So far, I think as time goes by, it's becoming easier and easier, but the beginning was very tough.
How tough?
Well, moving here like a different continent.
Entirely, yeah.
And I've lived almost more than 20 years my life in Ghana. I mean, in other parts of Africa. Because
you were born in Ghana, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But I visited other friends in other parts of Africa too. So the cultures were similar, but moving to like a whole new continent, it's something you're not ready for. I mean, the first time I got off the plane into the States, I was like, God, where am I? In fact, I cried. Yes, believe me, I cried. I wanted to go home that day because the roads, everything was just different from what I'm used to. Even though I had family relatives picking me up from the airport, it was still not the same. Like, I felt the difference even without interacting with any American. Then I just knew that I was in a different world. Yeah.
Have you always been in Virginia? Did you come to Virginia?
Yes,
from
Virginia,
the beginning?
Yes. Virginia,
wow.
But I've been to other states.
How many states have you been to?
So far I've been to 3.
Okay.
Yes,
which ones?
I've been to Ohio, I've been to Georgia and South Carolina.
Oh, nice. So, if you don't mind telling us, what brought you to the US? Did you come to see greener pastures? Or did you come to make money?
No, I wouldn't.
What exactly
I
brought
wouldn't
you to
really say that. So in Ghana, like when you complete like university, you have to serve the nation for a year. So national service.
We have that in Nigeria as well.
Yes, I think it's I forgot the name, but
we
you wear the green and white.
Yes,
okay,
we have you. The difference is we have uniform.
We do have uniform.
You do?
We have a cloth. People don't wear it, but we do. It's not mandatory. It's like cloth, like uniform. It's a cloth, it's a fabric.
Are you serious?
Yes, but we wear it. Let me chip you. We wear it when maybe you're done or if you. Yeah, but it's not a uniform.
New, so if you knew this, let me.
Yes, it's a fabric, like national service. Yeah,
you don't.
But most people don't get it because it's not mandatory.
Ours is mandatory with the t-shirt, the jacket, like in paramilitary.
It's nice. It's nice. Yes, it's nice. But no.
Oh, really?
We have clothes like to show that. Yeah, but at the end of it, you get a certificate. That's the most important thing.
Oh, but this is news. I did not know.
You can check it. Like we have fabric. Like,
is it new or is I was always
it's been there. Oh. I didn't get it, but my sister. She had hers. Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, just like I said, I wouldn't say I came to see greener pasture. No. So after my service, I worked with Nestle, and so Nestle is a multinational company. Yeah. So I mean, working with them really like gave me insight to what I can really do to my life, and possibility of me becoming an expatriate. So I was like, oh, the job vacancies,
I love the energy.
The job vacancies that they post, most of them will require like a PhD in chemistry. And then I had my BSc in chemistry. So I was like, since I'm already working for Nestle, why don't I then pursue my graduate studies.
Okay.
So I went back to University of Ghana, the
Oh, that's where you
premium
graduated from.
university, yes,
Okay.
to work as a
Okay.
research assistant in
Okay.
a medicinal chemistry lab. So with that research experience, and my boss, he is also like, we had projects from UK and other stuff. So with that exposure, and then we had one other project with Merck in the US, I was like, oh, I think this is in a way calling me to pursue my
Okay.
graduate
Lord, is that
studies.
you speaking? I
And
know.
so yeah, that
Yeah.
is what fueled my interest to just pursue my graduate studies. So
Okay.
yeah, I applied for masters and PhD, and then at
Mm-hmm.
the end I chose
You
PhD out of
applied
it.
for masters
And
and
PhD,
PhD.
yes.
So can you take us through that? Was that something you wanted to do personally, or you were mandated to do
No,
masters and PhD?
no, I wasn't mandated to do it. I mean, in the course of just trying to figure out what I really
Mm-hmm.
wanted, grad school, just an advanced degree
Mm-hmm.
aside from the bachelor's I had.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just masters or PhD.
Okay.
Yes. But at
Okay.
the end I chose PhD out of it because in the field that I'm in, chemistry, whether I go for masters, I'll still want to go for a PhD. So
Oh,
when I
I
had a
see.
PhD offer, I was like, boom, why not just go for that?
Okay.
I went
So
for it.
just, for the purpose of those who are watching and probably want to take your route to come to the US and looking
Yeah.
for opportunities. So they offered you the opportunity to do a PhD instead
Yes.
of a master's, or how
So
did it work?
it was like I did not just apply to one school.
Okay.
Some schools offered just masters. Some also had masters and PhD, but
Okay.
for some I chose masters, for some I chose PhD.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
for most of the schools that I went for PhD, I had
Mm-hmm.
a PhD.
Okay.
Most of those that I went for masters, I had the masters too.
Okay. So is this fully funded, or your
Yes,
fully funded
fully
scholarship?
funded. Most
100%.
PhDs are fully funded. Some masters are equally fully funded.
Okay. So what were required of you?
Oh,
Just take us
okay.
through.
So, well, for me,
Did you do the research yourself? Did you find the schools yourself, or
yes,
you
I
had
did
an agent?
everything myself.
Okay.
I did everything to know what I really wanted.
Okay.
I went through the faculty's website to
Mm-hmm.
know who I can really work with, and well,
Mm-hmm.
my career goals, what I really, really want to do.
Okay.
So, because I already had the foundation in medicinal chemistry, I wanted something else to add on to what I already know, so that
Mm-hmm.
when I get out there to work, I'll be hot cake.
I
Yes,
know. I
so I had to
know.
go through
Yeah.
the faculty's website and then do all that, and then narrow down my options and then
Mm-hmm.
decide to apply. Well, with the application, fortunately for me, the schools I had, their requirements was not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some would just waive the IELTS, which is the English proficiency test, but others will still require. I had that aside because most of the schools that I saw required it, so I had that prepared. And
Just in
also I
case they
had like
needed
my
it. Yeah.
essays also
Okay.
written. I had
Okay.
people proofread it for
Yeah.
me.
Sure.
I told my professors that I want them to reference it. I told them ahead of time.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and then I also, like, with the essays, I went all in for it. It was as
Mm-hmm.
if I was sitting just like I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
That is how I wrote it down,
Okay.
my
Nice.
experiences, and I was very, very, hitting on my experiences and what I know and
Yeah.
how I want to
Sell
learn more.
yourself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I had to, because I know my capabilities, so
I
I had to.
know, I know. So tell me, you said you've started lecturing and all of that. So can you take us through that?
Okay, so for PhD,
Yeah.
I don't know about other disciplines, but for usually STEM, and I mean chemistry specifically, when you're given the scholarship, you're given a stipend, and it's like you're working in schooling. So you work as a teaching and then research assistant. So the teaching assistant is more like you being assistant to the professor,
Mm-hmm.
and we take on labs. So specifically I do organic chemistry lab. So the lab is like you're in charge of the lab. You're
Mm-hmm.
like the professor of the lab. So you need to know what they're doing. You need to know possible reactions that people will get. You need to how to explain things to people,
Mm-hmm.
why we are adding A and
Mm-hmm.
B to it. So in it, I think the whole setting is to prepare you in case some of us want to be in academia. It
Yeah,
prepares you
yeah.
how to have interaction with students, how to understand students, and how to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
But in case you also want to just go into industry, it also helps you with people, relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and then how to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So you said they give you
Yes, type,
stipends and
yeah.
stipends. So are you allowed to work?
So PhD is like you're fully employed by your department because mind you, you're researching and you're working at the same time. So they've employed you a full time for the university as a teaching assistant. And then for your portion, for your PhD studies, you have to do your research. So you're not supposed to work because it's like a full time. They've employed you full time. You know how time is very important over here. And especially if you're like an immigrant, like the time, like you're not supposed to work above these hours. So yes, fully, like you're fully employed by the university, so you're not.
Do you hope to continue with academics, or you go into the work?
Oh, that is
school, or
that is like a tough question because growing up, I don't know, how, but I just found myself tutoring people. It's something I love to do, but with my exposure with working with some industries before coming, that is back in Ghana, Nestle Ghana, and some other industries, I think I like the industry more. But with a PhD,
how many years is it?
It's maximum of 5. Right now I don't know because my research is preparing me for either academia or industry, and then the teaching as well. So it all depends, and then the availability of the job that I have at that time. Yes, but I think I'll fit anywhere. I'll do super great, be it in academia or industry.
Okay. Now, you don't have to go into details, but for the curious cats out there, because if I were watching too, I would want to know the stipends you get. Is it enough to sustain you?
Oh yes, it is. So it is like an estimated amount.
Monthly or weekly, or
it's bi-weekly.
2 weeks, okay.
Yeah, so it's like an estimated amount that give you, and then if you're someone who is not like overspending more than, because mind you, you are not paying fees. So
it's just
housing. This is a way to give you something so that you're not stranded. So if assuming you're paying fees, you're not supposed to be giving any money, but this time around you're not paying no tuition at all. So the money they give you is something to make your life comfortable.
For rent as well, right?
So the stipend, they just give it to whatever you want to do, but it should cover for your accommodation.
So the accommodation is on you, but
everything is on you. But it's enough, I would say. It's enough as in a student setting, because it's enough. Because I'm still a student, so I'm not working.
So I just wanted to clear that out. In case you're wondering, would it be enough for me to buy my toiletries,
it is. It is.
Rent and all of that.
Yes, it is.
As an African, you're fresh. Technically you're fresh. How was it, tutoring? Because on the other side, on the flip side, I heard that, people who come here to school, they found it very difficult understanding their lecturers. When they're talking, it's like, I don't understand. They have to go back home to study because it's like you're not very used to the accent. I said it in one video that movie is actually different from real life. It's easier to understand movie than to understand when they're actually talking to you face to face. So, how was it communicating to your students?
With me, it wasn't a challenge at all. Because I think fortunately I already have like relatives that already have thicker accents with UK and US and what have you. So I was okay, but moving here, it's like a different thing. Some students can choose to make fun of you.
Yes.
But I didn't get it. And I think that
and then you're young too.
Yes. So because some people thought I was actually one of them. So when we got, the semester began, and then I had to be in the lab with the register. So I mentioned your name and you come inside. So they saw me and they were just
one of us.
they were just wondering. So once I let them inside, I introduced myself. So I think that it's how you carry yourself.
Yes.
I will not lie to you, because I had other friends of mine having, this and this back and forth with their students, but I didn't have it. Because once they came inside, I just introduced myself and I'm like, I'm this, I'm that. I had my bachelor's here, blah, 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 this and this. I'm here to do this. I know I have an accent, and so do you. Let me know if you don't understand anything.
Oh, that's a beautiful way
so
to
that's what,
it.
So that is it. And then, my students will talk to me. They will talk to me.
If you don't understand, let me know.
I would say that one thing that keeps me going is my teaching. I love teaching my students because they give me feedback.
What levels do you teach?
Juniors. So that's like third year.
Third year.
And mind you, third years, most of these people are like going to pre-med, pre-dentistry, so most of them are smart.
Yeah. So you
And
have
so
to bring your
yeah,
A game.
you have to bring your A game. Like it got to a point.
You have to bring
Initially,
your
I was
A
a bit
game.
scared. I was like, what if they ask me something?
Yeah.
But just be yourself. Don't act like you know too much. Don't act like you're superior over them. No, we learn from each other.
Yeah, we
so
do,
that is, I
actually.
really, really like all the times that I taught my students. And at the end of the semester, they will send you emails. I had a good time. Thank you. I wish to be in your next session next semester.
wow.
It was good feedback because over here too, the students are very honest. They will tell you
Give it to
as
you
they
raw.
should tell you. But so
They-
the accent had
you,
never
so you
been a
say
problem.
they're brutally honest.
Yes, and I think I like that because they don't hide anything from you.
Mhm.
And it depends on the kind of energy you also give them. You know, over here, people be like, oh, I'm okay. I had students that I could just tell that, no, I mean, this is not the usual here. And because of how I was with them, I could go to her and be like, what is wrong? And then she just tells me, and then, you know, try encouraging her. And then the next day, she's so happy. Thank you for, you know, the
And I mean,
little
you are
things.
relatable because I mean, you are in the same age bracket, quote and unquote. So it's very relatable. They're not looking at you like some mommy
Yeah,
or
I
some
mean, in as much
uncle.
as I might be like older than them.
Oh, really?
Because they're young.
They're young. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I think early. I
Okay,
think
sorry, I'm using
yeah,
the African
yeah, they are.
African
Yeah, they are
level
super
because
young. So
sometimes you get people that are really mature
yeah,
in your
they are
class
super
or
young.
stuff.
But I mean, I think it's just something that God has blessed me with. I will blend in with kids just now. So I don't. I mean, as much as they give me the respect, I'm their teaching assistant. I'm here to pursue my PhD and all that. We still vibe like just like a colleague of theirs. So yeah.
So would you say you like it here?
This is a tough question.
Yeah, because
I
you know
like
some
it.
people, sorry to cut you, you know, people actually think it's very easy. Why would you say, but it's America? Why would you say, but of course I like it here? Think about it well. Do you really
Yeah.
like it here?
I would say that right now at this point of my life, I do like it here because I'm here for a purpose.
Yeah.
But if all things being equal, at the other side where I came from, I am choosing it 100%. God makes no mistake. I like Ghana, in fact, Africa in general. I will not lie to you. I've met beautiful people here.
Sure.
Very nice people who are Americans, and I love them. And how I've even interacted with them even makes them to tell me that they want to experience what I experience. But truthfully, I like where I came from, please. Yes.
Do you see yourself going back to Ghana to live?
To live in Ghana.
Relocating back to Ghana. I mean, you don't have to answer if you're not sure,
so
but you know.
Going back to Ghana, right now I'm getting my PhD. This whole studies is not easy. Stressful, exhausted, crying day and night and all that. So after all of this sweat, I need the money. So if I happen to get a job, because I was working with Nestle or any other multinational company, we have other companies, AstraZeneca and all that.
In case you don't know, it's big.
Yeah, I think
It's
Nigeria,
big.
they have like 2 factories or so. Yeah.
So
I would want to, yeah, depending on the job, like I'll apply to jobs. If I get a job in Ghana I am open, not just here, wherever. So be it Ghana, Nigeria.
It mustn't be here.
No.
As far as it has everything you require.
Everything I need, yes. Being it Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya.
Anywhere.
I am moving, but I'll be so happy if it's in Africa. Yes. I'll be so happy though, but let's see when it gets there. I can't tell.
So I can tell from everything you said, I don't even need to ask that you miss home.
Hey, I used to No, I can
tell. I can actually
I remember
tell.
when I got here, my first night, I couldn't sleep.
Oh.
Because you know
Did you get here in summer, winter?
No, I got here spring.
Oh,
so I came to meet the cold.
Okay.
And I couldn't sleep because back home, my body was still used to the time. So when it is 12 here, it's 5 in Ghana, and I'll wake up. Yeah, so I was fortunate. I was living with a white lady, so kind, so nice. And she noticed, and then she told me that it's because of the time zones. My body, you get used to it. And she really, really helped me too. This lady would just drive me around because she thought I was homesick. Whenever I close from school, she'll pick me up like I was a little girl.
It's so emotional.
Mind you, over here, people don't, time is very, someone to give you 5 minutes of their time, it's not easy. For this woman, like she's about 40, and then she would drive me around, took me to Walmart. I didn't even want to be in the midst of people. Like, I was homesick. She would take me here, let's try this, let's try that. So she has also contributed to how far I've come in America. Now I can just be roaming as if I never cried. Please, so I cried. I wept and wept.
Wait, but would you say that, it took you a while to adjust?
Yes, it took, because the school system, you have to do everything on your own.
They don't spoon feed you, yeah?
No spoon feeding. So the students, they have that. Like when I got to class, it's like they already knew everything. And I was now trying to figure out things. They don't spoon feed here, no. They know how to go about their things. Like they don't ask people for anything.
Oh, wow.
Self-dependence, that's what's here.
Oh, wow.
So it took me a while, like the first 3 months, to settle in, because I had to do this. Oh, you have to do this yourself. You have to call this yourself. Email, do this yourself. Yeah. And well, they reply to emails like
Very fast.
very fast.
I wasn't used to talk to.
Yeah, I wasn't used to that.
Yeah.
I would be like, can't I call them? It was like, oh no, just email them. They'll reply. And yes.
You even said, can't you call? Some of us you have to go to the office.
Yeah, I mean, over here,
going
to the office. Yeah, going to the office is like, oh, why did you stress yourself? Just email.
Wow.
They'll just respond, no matter what it is.
I'm glad that you've experienced both worlds. You've experienced getting a bachelor's in Ghana, Africa, and you're experiencing getting a postgraduate here in the US.
Yeah.
If you were to go back home and go back into academics, what changes would you make? Because I know there's a huge difference.
Yes, there's a huge gap. Yeah. Just like the continents are far apart, that is the gap.
Yeah, in the educational system.
I think that
right on.
Yeah, I think that we have like resources. Our lecturers are good all over Africa. We know it.
Actually, so good.
Super
Our
smart.
African
all we have to do, don't make it look like you're trying to scare the students with it. Let us understand. Recently, I was just like, this thing they taught me in school, but how the lecturer delivered it, I didn't even pay, because I just wanted to pass it. Now I need the understanding I don't have. Over here, it's just stepwise. You do this theory, you do it in the lab the next week. So, they're just building on it. But ours, you do this first year, and then third year, you're now doing the lab. Everything is just scattered. We have the research, like we have everything. It's just the structure. And we need student-lecturer relationship. They are there as our tutor. Like they have to be there, like they want the best for us. That is what is here. If a student fails, the lecturer, like, why would you even feel like, and then just teach us what we have to know. Let that be the questions we are going to meet in the exam room. Don't let us go and then what you haven't taught us is over there. They don't experience that here. They know what is coming in the exam. Because that's what I've been taught. Just attending lectures alone gives them, like, you have this point, and then they do in lecture quiz, and so you get points accumulated. So you don't really have
it's not everything is not accumulated in one, maybe test 40%, exam 60%. So it's bits by bits by bits.
Yeah, and they have tutorial, Yeah,
I think so everything sums up to the 100. Oh, wow. I think I like that too. Because we'll just do some tests. CA,
and ours is not 40, flexible.
Then exam 60. So if you fail the 40, you are relying on that 60. Yeah, and if you fail the 60, you are going to carry it over. And then
I think most of them are they practicalize it. Yeah, I think that is, we know more of that. They really practicalize it here. So that is why I love
the theory and then you learn the practical.
Yeah, and even in the theory, they practicalize it. If you're learning about finding maybe a mass in something, it's just, so you come here and some students just love, they just love biology. They just love chemistry. They just love physics. They just love maths, and you don't understand. It is how they were, how the introductory to the course, everything, the resources, we have all of that. It's just the structure, and
so
I
we
hope
should change our structure.
Yeah, and I hope that, like, I mean, there are some students who are, notorious and all that, but I mean, I think the lecturers also have their reasons for doing that, but I just wish that there will be a system, like a lecturer student system. Like we should
Relationship.
take this evaluation, like lecture evaluation, also serious, because over here there's a
True.
website, Rates My Professor,
Yeah.
and no professor wants to see his name there as a bad person.
Yes, so because it can affect your employment,
And over
right?
here, I told you that they are brutally honest. And the
Oh,
school
wow.
is there for the students. Because, I mean, we are there to learn. But back home, evaluation was nothing. Because you take a course and you know that you're failing in this course. Over here, like, if you come to class, how would you feel? You come to class, that is what they're teaching you. There's this app that they use. I mean, you just go on the website, choose your answer. The professor explains why this is not the answer. This is so, yeah.
So you
I
feel we
think
still
that
have
is
a
it.
long way to go? Is it a long way or
Yeah,
we have a
it's not
short
really
way?
a long. We have
Okay.
all the resources around it. It's just about having a better like structure to just go about it, and we should be fine because they really taught us a lot.
Oh yes, I actually think African lecturers are really smart.
Yes,
You guys have no idea because they study,
they
labor, they labor for the degree.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm
because
now
we
like
actually know what
yeah.
we're doing.
Now
But
I
maybe
think
just
that
the
my professors
delivery.
even back home they
Maybe.
taught me more than I even know, more than I should even know.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's just that maybe the delivery, like
Probably
I
and the
really we
system.
didn't get we
The
didn't get
system.
why. Okay, this is just a course for me to take. There was nothing practical about it, and I think over here someone knows that, oh, if I do this I can end up working here. We don't have all that. We are just doing it because maybe the university just gave you this course to do. It's just few of us that choose what we want to do. The
Yeah, or
university
you
ends
got
up giving
what you
yes.
applied for.
Yes.
You know, sometimes, you know, if you don't get up to the cutoff point, they give you something. You know, sometimes
But
you
even
have the
if
opportunity to change, but some people are like, no, let me just continue.
yeah, but even if they
Yeah.
give you something, like if we need, like we have to make good use of the
Of what
course
you've been
advisors.
given.
You know, every level we had like
Yes, course
advisors.
advisors, yeah.
Most of us don't know why they're there, but over here they really, really make good use
It's
of
true,
it.
come to think of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we have very good system. It's just the structure. Yeah.
Oh wow,
Mhm.
that's interesting. What's your favorite Ghanaian food?
Oh, anyone that sees video
We
and
know
sees me on it
it.
to say
We
it's
know it's
kinky.
kinky.
Yes.
I heard that, but you didn't even tell me. But I heard that you see Magdalene and kinky.
Yes, it's kinky.
Hey,
If it's
kinky.
not
Kinky with
kinky,
what?
but kinky with the pepper sauce, with fish, with onions, with tomatoes,
tuna, egg.
everything. Oh, egg.
You don't
Yes,
want.
I'll take egg.
Hey, you're Ghanaian. Hey,
Please,
don't let
I'll
them
take
come for
egg.
you.
Egg, I'll take egg. Shrimps.
Yeah.
Add anything seafood
Hey,
on
but
it
why
on
do you
that
like kinky
platter.
like that?
So,
I'm just curious, cause
my dad is an ex-serviceman, so he was in the military, like in Ghana. He was in Navy.
Oh, wow.
And we lived in the capital. The capital is they're all guns, and the guns KK is one of the
crazy. Okay, that's
yes.
a very,
and
very
my
good
dad
explanation.
will also my dad is an Ewe. I think I like anything made out of corn.
So you like banku?
I like banku with okra.
National dish.
Banku and okra is my food. Like that is my daddy's hometown food. Because he's Ewe.
With those small crabs.
Everything. Yes, everything like that.
And it should be green.
Yes, that is where I come from. So we lived in the capital, and my friends, most of them were Gans. That's the name of the ethnic group. So yeah.
So in case you're
then
not...
Kenke became my favorite because it's easy to prepare too. Yes.
Don't say it like that. It's easier to prepare. Wait, which
one
is
easier
for you?
It's easy to prepare the sauce.
Oh,
just fry the fish,
that's
not
what you
the
should
kinky.
say.
No, not
Don't mislead my audience. It's not easy.
Not
it's not as difficult as I thought. But when I was seeing, influencers making it, seeing it on YouTube, I'm like, it's not exactly difficult. But
it's just like banku.
It's a labor of
yes,
of
it
love.
is.
It's a lot of work actually.
Yeah.
But I can make banku. Banku is not hard for me to make. You rather not?
I'll make banku, but always buy kinky. Because I love kinky, so I just want to enjoy it.
Have you been enjoying it here in the US?
Yeah, recently I found one that is close to what I'm used
That
to
is
back
good.
home.
Please, you give
Yes.
me the
I'll
you
say,
give me the plug.
don't worry,
It's
I found
what
it.
the
Yes,
days
the
I
plug.
feel for Kenke. It's
Yes,
not all
it
the
is
time,
just
but
like what is back
because
home.
I'm not like Kenke
Yeah,
have
the
been
kinky, yeah,
tasting.
yeah.
It's not all
But I
that. So
found
I'll not
one
lie.
plug. I
Oh.
found one plug.
Please give me the plug. I hope
Yes.
I don't forget. Please give
I'll
me the
send you the
plug.
picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's not. That's always the issue. You don't get. I know it's not possible to get the exact thing. So when you get something close to,
Close, yes.
you're all for
All
it.
for
So
it.
clearly, your favorite food is kinky.
Yes.
Okay. What else do you like?
I make palava sauce. I think you guys call it egusi.
Yes, egusi.
Yes. Peanut butter soup,
Yeah.
egg stew,
Yeah.
vegetable stew, jollof
So you
rice, all that.
still cook your
Yeah.
Ghanaian dishes,
Yes, I
yeah.
do.
So what American or Igbo food do you like, or do you like to
Uh,
prepare? Or
I think it will
you don't have to know how
be
to prepare,
the
but do you like
ribs.
it?
Yeah,
Okay,
ribs,
pork ribs or which one?
lamb chops,
Okay,
anything that has ribs,
ribs.
yeah, I'll eat it.
Okay.
I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't really like mac and cheese
Hey,
that much,
you
but
see
it's nice. I
there.
taste
Are
it.
you one
Mac
of the
and cheese is
stubborn
nice.
people? I feel
No,
they are one of the
sometimes,
most
yeah.
stubborn people on this planet. They are intolerant to it, but
But
they
I'll
will
taste
still
it.
take it.
And I
Okay.
like their salads because I'm a
Mm-hmm.
vegetable person. So
Okay.
all salads,
Fish farm.
yeah, I mean, I'll
Okay.
be there. Oh, the seafood boil.
Oh,
Hey, that is my favorite.
oh
Yes,
wow. Okay. Oh
yes, the
nice,
seafood boil, and
nice.
then that's I
No,
think
that's
just
about it.
their corn, all that. Yeah, I
Okay.
get to try. I mean, when I have the chance, I just
Yeah.
give it a try.
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, that's what it's all about. You can't
Mhm.
just stick to your
Oh
Ghanaian
no,
dishes. I mean, you're somewhere else, so try what they have,
exactly. I try. I love
Yeah,
Mexican foods.
yeah, yeah. Although that I'm yet to try it as at the time of filming this video. I'm yet to
Oh,
try it. So
okay. You
let's
should
see.
try it.
Let's see. Let's
It's
see. Let's see. It's
an everyday
Italian.
goal.
I'm delving more into Italian these
No,
days.
it's
But
Mexican
okay, I
all the
will. I
way.
will. I'll try their tacos and
You like
their
it?
fruit. I'll
Fajitas,
try them.
everything. Go and try
I'll
burritos.
try. So what are some of the pros and cons of, you can just briefly tell us?
One, you should know what you want. And well, I'm a Christian, so you
Yeah,
pray
sure.
about it and
Mhm.
trust God to order your step. Because this is like a whole different place with different influences. If you don't know who you are, if you don't know where you belong, people say America is bad. Blah, blah, blah. It's not true. They are good people and they are bad people, just like we have back home. So as you're coming, if you don't know where you belong, you definitely be swayed into where you don't have to be.
They say if you don't stand for something, you can fall for anything.
Exactly. So you
Mm.
should first and foremost you should know and then why you're coming here. And then you should also be open to try new things because you are at a new place, different culture. You have to appreciate it. Just stop saying, I don't like it this way. You are over here. You chose to come here. So you have to appreciate what they have.
You
And
can't
you
be
have
stuck in
to,
your ways.
yes, no. And you have to take away every perception that you have about people over here, whether being white people,
Mm.
black people. You have to take that out of your head because coming here, I was so excited because there are black people here. I'm not saying I'm not racist. I like white people. I work with white people, but it's just nice to know that you also have people here. I mean,
It's just a
I mean,
normal.
even though they are Americans and I'm African, I did get a little bit. Oh, you're African, but I mean, I wasn't bothered. People that are African also do the same to the Americans, so I wasn't bothered at
Mm.
all. But I've made good friends who are pure Americans, and we vibe like we're brothers and sisters because I don't have any perception about them that they are bad. They are not bad people. It depends on. There are bad people everywhere on this earth. There are bad
I say
people
that every time. Yeah,
everywhere.
they're everywhere.
And so, yeah, so far for me, it's been a very nice experience. But I think
Mm-hmm.
that you should know who you are, why
Mm-hmm.
you're here, and where
Mm-hmm.
you're headed to.
Okay, so any cons?
The cons is, well, at the
Well, the pros
beginning,
you gave us advice,
yes.
so which is
So,
good.
yeah,
So
at the beginning,
cons,
it's
yeah.
just that you have to, over here, you have to be a bit like mindful about people's privacy. They're not too like us, like open, hey, how are you?
They're
And all
into
that. People are,
everybody's business.
yeah, no, over here, even like trying to ask someone, oh, where have you been? And then my friend tells me that, oh, I didn't bother telling you because I didn't want you to be in my business. And I'm like,
Are you
I didn't
serious?
think that
Oh
way. So
wow.
ever since she
Okay.
keeps telling me now, because that is how most people are here apparently, that I don't have to tell you anything because it means you're being in my business, which I respect, because someone just telling you something, the other person might be nosy. And where are you? Where did you go? So to avoid all that, you not be in his or her business. But I
She
think
just
that it
asks surface
depends.
questions like,
Yeah.
hello, how are you
How are
doing? How's
you?
your
That's it.
day?
Yeah. And you don't really expect everyone to say good morning to you.
Yeah.
Yes. But I think that the people here are very open to learning people's culture. Because I realize that in my lab, when I go, mind you, they're white people, black people, I'm always greeted. And they
Till
would
now,
not
are you
greet.
serious?
But now, when they come in and then I'm already there, they greet. So I think that
you rubbed off nicely on them.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's how you, yes. So,
Yeah.
and then I'm learning about, sometimes maybe if you want to say, oh, thank you, I will say, oh, you're welcome and all that. They don't say that. Most of them will say, of course. Or
thank you.
Yeah, they say of course, or,
like yeah.
Yeah. So and then one thing, I was about to eat and I was like, oh, you're invited, and there was no response at all. No response. I don't know if people invite people when they are eating.
I don't.
No. So I'm
not even going to lie.
So
I don't. Normally, I don't, because
I also I knew that I got to know that it wasn't a thing here. But it's so nice learning, like,
let me even ask you
culture.
a true question. If you say you're invited, if they come to eat your food, would you be happy if they finish your food?
No, you're invited. I'm just telling you, I have food. I'm just telling you, I'm about to eat. It doesn't.
You see. So why are you telling me?
No, but if I want to invite them, what I do is I'm like, oh, I made this. Would you want to have a plate? Then it means I want you to eat my food. If I have my food, and mind you, whoever that is watching me, if I have my food and I just tell you, you are invited.
So why are you inviting me?
I'm not expecting you to come and eat my food.
No.
If I tell you, do you care for a plate? It means that I want you to eat it.
No. Why did you ask me?
Please, I've made it clear now. It's not clear. Yes,
it's not clear. Yes. Okay. So nobody answered.
No, they were, and I was like, "Did you not hear me?" I was like, "What? What did you say?" Then I explained to them that this is it.
And I think I like the fact that the people around you are willing to learn.
Yes, I mean, yeah, I told her that this is what it means. This is what it's like. Oh, okay, I'm just not used to it. Yeah.
Oh wow. So would you advise more people to come to the US?
I think just like I keep saying, it depends on where you're going to. If you think it will help you,
it will help you get to where you're going.
Yeah. But if you know that you are someone who cannot let go of any perceptions, you haven't experienced it, but because people are saying it, you are just stuck on it, please don't come here.
I like that. Please don't come.
Yeah, please don't come here.
Oh, wow.
Because I mean, we are all human beings.
Mm-hmm.
There are bad people everywhere. People are aggressive everywhere. It's the same way that people are also nice everywhere. And what you give is what you receive. That is one thing that I've learned. What you give is what you receive. And the people here are very, very, like, whatever you do, they think into it. The least thing you are doing,
they read it.
Because mind you, unlike we Africans that we speak, we are multilingual. So we express ourselves in different languages if you want. Over here, they speak just English. So they understand it better, even though not necessarily understand it better, but that is how they express themselves. So mind you, certain things, when you say it, it means a whole different thing to them.
I've never actually thought of it.
Yeah, so my roommate, like, I have to be explaining myself because some of the questions I even ask her, it's sometimes offensive and I didn't know. So I asked her that, what does this mean? She's like, okay, if you ask an American this is what you mean. So every time before I talk to an American, I tell the person that I am multilingual. You are, you speak just one language. So you understand the English better than I do because that is the only language that you express yourself in. And so if I say something and you don't understand, please prompt me. Because I don't want any miscommunication in so I think it's something that I have to be mindful about. And most people are sensitive here. You know, back home, I beg George, shut up. What is that? Please don't try there. Someone cry or you know, they also have that back. You know,
you have to even know who you are dealing with.
You have to know, because there are certain things that are very sensitive and very matters of the heart, like the
Because you don't
person,
know where
and
you're
then
going
you're
to
just,
touch.
oh, it's nothing. You don't think that what is nothing for you is nothing to someone. Yes. And over here, you have to, whatever you do, you think about the other person than yourself. That is something I'm still struggling with, because I always put myself first, and then my roommates would be like, no, when you're talking to someone, you have to think about how the person is feeling. So
Yes,
that is one thing that we have to be mindful of. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow. This was a very educative and entertaining
Yeah,
conversation.
for
Thank you
having
for your
me.
insights. And we wish you all the very best.
Thank
We hope to see
you.
your name one day on all the papers. They'll be quoting you. Magdalene said
Amen.
this,
Yes.
citation and
Yes,
stuff.
I need that, Lord.
Yeah. But any last
Yeah.
words before we close?
Oh, thank you so much, Jumoke, for having me,
You're
for being on your screen.
You're
And thank you all lovely viewers for tuning in to watch this video. Please keep subscribing, sharing it to your friends so that they can watch more, so that we can also communicate with you guys over there to make life easier if you guys happen to be here or when we happen to be back home.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, guys.